today's video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reviewing the 2020 Ford Escape, the redesigned one for 2020, which is right behind me. These vehicles usually start at around $29,765. They get about 43 city and 37 highway, and that's because these vehicles have a hybrid system, so the regular engine and electric drivetrain. These produce about 200 horsepower from that 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, as well as with the electric motor, and they weigh about 3,600 pounds, and they are all-wheel drive. So this one's making, I don't want to say it's a weird noise, but it turns on and off because I can't turn it off. If I do, I won't be able to take it back to the dealership. But I also forgot to mention that the battery in this vehicle that produces the electric power is a 1.1 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery. Now walking around the vehicle, let's start from the wheels. These are 17-inch wheels, and this vehicle is riding on Continental Pro Contact tires. When you look above the tire, there are some molded side fenders. Right below the door, you have some more molded side fender. You go to the back, some more molded fenders, the same wheels, and then you move to the back, you have some full LED tail lights. Well, at least this strip right here is LED. These look like more incandescent bulbs. You do have dual tips exhaust back here, and a gray diffuser with a black plastic trim at the bottom. You do have a backup camera integrated right there with your Escape badge and Ford lettering. As I mentioned before, this one is a hybrid, an SE hybrid, all-wheel drive, as you could tell with the badging here. And then to open up the rear tailgate, put your hand there, and you open it right up. So back here you do get some nice storage. You can definitely fold the seats down and get even more storage space. And when you lift this up, you have, well, you could actually probably fit a spare tire, but what's here right now is the battery. In the rear of the vehicle, you have a, I believe this is an inflation kit for your spare tire that would be in this area. Back here, you do get a hook for maybe grocery bags or whatever you have in your trunk, and you do have a 12-volt outlet right here. On the other side, all you have is a light and some ventilation back here. And you do have some reflectors here. Walking around the other side of the vehicle up to the roof, you do have a small spoiler up top. I believe you could install rails at the top. You have your antenna back there. This one has no sunroof, and this one does have blind spot detection and warning as well. Now let's take a look at the front of the vehicle. Check out those daytime running lights. I love how car manufacturers are adding daytime running lights to every new vehicle that comes out. It makes them look much more modern, which is a good look overall for any vehicle. You do have black mirrors as well. And on entrance to the vehicle, you do have a keypad right here, which is something that I believe no one uses nowadays. Stepping into the interior, this interior is called Dark Earth Gray, and you could basically see that it's a cloth interior. There's a nice pattern on the seating. You could actually feel it. It's like little shapes, and you have some white stitching going around the seats. But back to the door, on entrance in the vehicle, up here you do have some soft touch material. You do have some aluminum door handles. You have some nice patterns down here. You could actually feel them as well. You have a soft touch cloth material here, plastic door grip, all your door controls and mirror controls, unlock button mirror controls as well. Some cubby storage down here for bottles. The sound system is unbranded, but it does sound pretty good. I listened to it on the drive here, so it sounds pretty good. Sitting in the vehicle, you can see that there's a fully digital display for the dash, which is pretty cool, I think, and it's lit up in a really nice deep blue. I think this is pretty cool that they designed this way. And it shows you, since this is a hybrid, it shows you battery power and engine power, how much of it you're using. And This vehicle also has a start-stop function, so when you stop at a light, the engine shuts off to save you fuel as well. One thing I did notice about the 2020 Ford Escape is that it's very similar to the 2021 Ford Bronco that I reviewed. So when I stepped in here, I noticed that how comfortable it feels felt very similar to the Bronco. The AC, all the AC controls are very similar, as well as the rotary shift dial. They're both literally the same thing, but in just two different vehicles. I took it around the block for a spin, and the ride quality is also the same. The dash feels like a soft touch material up here, which feels like some good quality. And you do have some more silver trim running across the mid portion of the dash. And as for the seats, these seats are pretty comfortable. They are regular cloth seats, they're not leather, but there's no complaints about the seats. They're comfortable. Looking at the steering wheel is fully leather wrapped, and it has a nice piano black trim at the bottom. It's not a flat bottom. You have your Ford logo in the middle of the steering wheel. All your essential controls, such as the menu, call hang up, call answer button, voice activation, your back button. You have cruise control, and you have your volume selections here. You have your windshield washer, stock hair, turn signals. And going over to the center stack, you do have a rotary shift dial. You have electronic park brake. I'm not sure what this button is, and this button is your mode selector button. So you could go from normal to eco to sport to slippery to snow, sand, and to normal. Further down, you do have a USB Type-C port and a regular USB port. You do have another 12-volt outlet here, and above that you do have all your climate controls. So here, to use the climate control, you push this button and it has a little digital display that reads out how high your temperature is. You have your fan speed and all your other AC controls here. Above that, you have your vents. You have volume control.
Online, Amazon.
And that's what the radio sound like. It sounds pretty good. It's unbranded, so I have no idea what brand it is, but it sounds pretty good. There's not much to show in the display. This is a brand new.
Search for your vehicle on your device and select it once it is found.
This is a brand new vehicle, so there's not much on here to show. Going back down here, you do have a small cubby storage area with some decent space in it. Not sure what this is. And then you close that right back up. So sitting in the back seat of this vehicle, I have the front seat set up to how I would be driving. Sitting back here, it's not cramped at all. My knees are not touching the back of the front seats, but it does feel a little small in terms of the space that you have between the seats. My head is not touching the roof at all. I'm only 5'7", so that's never really an issue for me. But it is still comfortable back here. The back seats are just as comfortable as the front seats, so that's pretty cool. And you do have your window switches down here, and your similar door handles, door locks as well. Now going on a test drive in this vehicle, it starts off very quiet because of that hybrid technology. It starts off really quiet, then the engine cuts on. This is a CVT transmission, so it does not actually shift gears. It kind of just revs out like a regular CVT would. But the ride quality in here is definitely smooth and comfortable. The brakes also feel really good in here as well. Now the engine completely shut off. Everything else is on though. This is really cool. It saves you a lot of fuel that way. This is an economy vehicle by all means, so this is what you buy when you want to save some fuel. Let's step on it a little bit here. Yeah, it definitely gets up. Got some assistance from that electric motor, so it's pretty cool. It actually kind of sounds like a robot or something. Also, if you guys did like what you've seen in today's video, leave a like, leave a comment, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future. I also want to give a shout out to Mossy Ford in Pacific Beach, San Diego, California, for supplying me with the 2020 Ford Escape for this review.